Good morning, good morning. Hello, Lord Mizd and Amir Clem. How are you doing today? Let's switch over to main and make you bigger. Okay, perfect. All right, I think my dashboard is catching up, chat, so that's a good sign. How are you both doing today? It is Thursday today, which we're almost through the week. Almost through another week. We are with what we're working on. We are continuing to work on the Figma stuff. So basically, we're building out the sort of side instructions area so that we can export this as a PNG and maybe have it look a little bit better and have the game run smoother than if we're having like so many different things to render out at the same time. Okay, so advanced attack streamer, we have fire column, and then we want to essentially repeat this with sword column. You are 20 white, and so I want you to be 20 and white. Okay, so we're gonna take you, put you in the center, something like this. And then we have to pull in the sword. So let's go find that. Nope, don't want to select everything, just drag you in. You're 16 by 16, that's fine. Where's the... Okay, there you go. So if I hold shift, it increases in size. The ratio correct. So that's a good. Okay, that's where I want to put that. Let's see, fire, sword, and then snake is next. So order, can I just copy and paste you? I can. Okay, so we've got snake column. And we have to do the same cutting thing we have with the snake here. So if I remember correctly, where was that? We did yesterday. We were able to cut this up. So let's see, image, crop. Oh, right, I want to zoom in on this. So I can crop like this. And that'll be our cropped image. Okay, so if I hit return, there's our snake. Okay, so I've got that there, and I think so. These are the three. Wonder, can I? What positioning stuff can I do? I can do text line center for that. Is there alignment for load together? I don't see that. Oh, distribute vertical spacing. That's what I want. So like make them even together. And then Control G probably groups them. Okay, that's good. So I can do something like that. And now we'll copy you, pull you down, and you become to help streamer. And then it's going to be, I want you and copy you down here. So you shouldn't be part of that same group, right? Yeah, it's not part of the same group, so that's fine. So then in this case, you're going to be heart, column, and pull in you. All right, so then for all of you, I want you centered. That's fine. This is probably fine with that. That heart sprite could really use some improvement. What? Are you kidding me? that's my oh man, I am not the best at pixel art. So if I were to pull it from the asset library, let's see if I can find heart. Yeah, we've got 2 hearts here. This one is not single use. Like this one looks similar to the rest of them. And that looks pretty good. Someday I'm actually gonna sit down and like learn pixel art and like figure that out. But it's like a full art form, so it's hard to I need to like actually spend some time to get into it and learn how to do art. Also, drawing was never one of my skills that I had, so I have to learn that too. Okay, so we have these, and this kind of looks right. So if I take this entire thing, oh, and then the next thing that I want to do is we want to have like the lives left. So that's gonna be one last piece of text. It's probably gonna be one of these. Streamer lives left. And we'll drop you, we'll keep you like right here. And then we'll have the hearts down below it. So like heart, heart, heart. Okay, I think that sounds good. Lord Mist, if you end up creating some pixel art for this, I will be happy to put it in. Okay, so let's go ahead and file export this frame to a PNG. Save the file. Wait, am I dropping frames already? What? No drop frames at all. 0 drop frames. And solid steady, can I do? Yeah, okay, status. I know there's a way to get like a graph in OBS. I'm not seeing anything on my side. Yeah, I've not got any problems on this side. So yeah, maybe it's internet or maybe it's Twitch. Like, but if it's good for you, Lord Mist, and stacking is not good for you, maybe yeah, it's something like in between Twitch and you. Okay, so we're gonna put hearts down here. Now, can I? Is there a measurement tool? Is there like a ruler? I would love to be able to like just make the not really. I can maybe figure this out, and from here, starting at the top, say that, oh, not doing whatever that is. Okay. No. That. Okay, so I need to come down to about here is where I want to start the heart. So that's 1028. So if I do something like 1030 is where I'm starting. I can turn on rulers. Wait, is that maybe here? Rulers. Oh. Oh. I could drag these things out. Well, oh, okay. I'm not sure how that helps me too much. Like it shows me that it's at 1020, 1024, and you're at 1028. Okay, that seems about right. It's that number on the left here, which I don't know if you can see it very well. I think it's for the entire frame and not the infinite window. So if I get rid of you, I can say I want to start you here at like 1013 or like, you know, 1015 or so. And then over here, I would want to maybe start like maybe right at the edge of this S and have like heart, 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 assuming that like I'm only gonna get like maybe 4 or 5 hearts. And so that's like 1020 by 167. Okay, that's pretty nice. I like that a lot. So I think I already exported this. Let's see if I go to downloads. Here's frame 1, which looks fine. If I rename you to instructions, sidebar.png. Let's see. Thank you so much for that, Tratsoda. Those rulers are really nice. Thank you. So after 3 years of waiting, I finally received the magical letter saying that your application to become an American citizen has been approved. Congratulations. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're able to get in. Now you can order a passport. Awesome. Where are you going to? Well, you're already in, but now it means that you can leave and come back. Which is always a nice thing. Okay, so if I have you, I want to now put you in documents, code, line, targets, debug, There, okay, resources. And throw you in here. You're not even going to be going anywhere. You already had a temporary driver's license. But it's nice having that, just in case. And also, since those things last for so long, you can very easily do that. Now you can get a state-approved one. That's also nice. Okay, so if I open up you now, so now in our target debug resources, we can see that we have this sidebar, which shows this. So, what resolution do we want the heart to have? You know, it's a good question. My previous one, I think I made it like 32 or like 16 by 16, but then I scaled it up a little bit. So it can be like 32 by 32, maybe even 64 by 64. I don't remember what we're using for the inside the game because it's like scaled a little bit. I have to do a little bit of math. All right. So I want this to now load on the side. So in our instruction, I guess it would be in the interface is what I called it. In interface, immigration is hell even if Britain has a special relationship with the US. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I've heard so many, like we certainly have not made it easy to immigrate in, especially in recent years. Glad you didn't have to go through the green card program though. Oh man. So we hired somebody who has a green card. And as like from the employer's side, like all the paperwork that has to go into it is really hard. And it can be really hard to like hire somebody who's a specialist in something. And this is somebody coming from like Canada. So it's, you know, another like very close relationship with the US. And the amount of work that goes through that, and then still not knowing whether or not the company's application to allow the person to work there is gonna go through, and it's expensive. You have to pay for it even if they don't get accepted. And if somebody changes jobs, they have to pay for another. Like the company has to pay for it again. So it's like what? Like so many times. UK citizens aren't generally eligible for a green card. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. I thought it was just like a general not living in the US thing. Okay, so in here, a lot of this is going to be sort of stripped out and removed. But let's start with just adding in. We're going to have the entire instruction. So instruction image, which is going to be an image. So we're going to load up that image right in here. And then the path is going to be /interface. No, that's not right. Wait, that's release. I want sidebar. Okay, sidebar.png. Then, once we have that, now in draw, I can draw this out. So I don't need this entire background. I don't need the title or any of these things. That's my T. We have our kitty cat here. who is purring decently loud enough, but I don't know if it's loud enough for the microphone to pick up. But he loves to cuddle, so that's what he wants to do. Either cuddle or play these right now. But he's a kitten, so that makes a lot of sense. I'll put you over there. We're gonna figure out a way to do a cat cam. So I can like put up the camera so we can look at the cat. Right now I have this. I don't know how this is gonna. Oh no. Kitty cat wants to come over here. Yeah. You can sit on my lap. All right. So we don't need any of this stuff now. Basically, in our draw, we just want to do graphics, draw, and the context. The drawable is going to be self dot instruction image, and then we're I forgot that I have a Bluetooth keyboard also for this computer, and he just stepped on it. Added, try to help some programming. Okay, so draw params, new, and then we just need to send this to a destination. Our destination, not the best pair programming partner. Yeah, he's now he's just on the sort of like the desk on the other. Oh, now he just fell off the desk. You okay? Oh, he's already back here. It's okay. Yeah, he fell off the desk onto my standing mat from when I'm at standing section, but he didn't hit his head or anything, so he's fine. Okay, so the destination, we have a screen size here. We also probably want to get the instruction image size, like the width of this. Kittens seem to be pretty resilient. So far, he seems to be extremely resilient. You're gonna jump on my lap. Try to make it all the way. Okay. Let's see. Destination. Then the destination is gonna be a point. Point to new. For the X, this is going to be our screen size. All right, you're just going back to the exact place he just fell down from. Okay. We're going to do screen size dot 0. Okay, so screen size dot 0 minus the width of whatever this is. I think I can actually get the width of the image, and I don't know how expensive that is. I should probably just calculate that once and store it up here. So let's store that as like a self dot instruction. Actually, we could just do self.width, like figure out what our width is and do that. And then our y is going to be 0.0. We don't need to go down at all. And then we'll question mark that. Okay, so don't want to do the question mark operator. What am I missing? Yeah, now you're saying, okay, doesn't exist. That's fine, and that makes sense. So let's go ahead and set up our width here. We're going to want to now grab this image out earlier. What did I call it? Instruction image. And you're going to be this. And then we're going to have a width. So then what I think I can do is let width equals instruction image dot oh, your result. Oh, your results, not an actual image. Or a game error. Okay. I think I can do question mark with that. That now gives me the instruction image. Now I think I can do dot. Can I get width from this? That gives me, okay, that gives me a U16. That's interesting. We'll store this in here. Let's store it as an F32, so I'll just do a conversion for it. Can I do into? Probably not. Oh, I can. I can do into F32 from a U16. Nice. Or wait, I do have an error. Where is this error? Right here. Okay, so here's this draw now. Am I like missing try draw? I know draw implement try. What am I missing with this? Why am I not getting autocomplete? Okay, first of all, let's just not do that. We're gonna return a game result. So graphics draw. We open here. Context. We have the self-drawable image. Then the draw param new. We then have .dest, which is a point to new with this. Okay, and then I'm missing. You're essentially a comma. I think I'm missing that as the draw. There we go. That's what I was missing. An extra closing parentheses. And I think, let's see, does this? It's not quite in the right spot, so I can't switch over to that camera yet. That should draw that out. So if I do this, we have lots of warnings, but no errors. So let's try running this. All right, and this is what that entire thing looks like. And I think that looks pretty good. We're able to get all this stuff on the screen. We're able to move around. It's pretty smooth. I think we're doing pretty good. So then the next thing would be to display the hearts that we have down here. But maybe before that, we want to get rid of some of these warnings. So what that's going to involve is just deleting all of this stuff that we don't need. So you We have instruction width here. I don't even know if I want to use like instruction width, or we can just do public width off of that. Okay, so hold on. So by deleting those, delete all of you. So in graphics draw, we have, okay, so draw title, for example. So all these functions that we're not even calling anymore. All right, let's, no, I want you working. Let's start from the bottom, maybe that might be easier. Okay, so draw players left. We don't. We are, okay, draw players lives left. We're gonna want this one, so I'm gonna keep you, or should I just? I feel like I should keep you. I'm gonna switch you over to width instead of instruction width, because that's, I think, what I'm gonna use now. Screen size, we're gonna do this. We're not gonna do the same draw as it was before though. Like it's gonna be, yeah, because we're not gonna have like the subtitle or anything. We're gonna have the like draw each, like the heart image multiple times. Okay, so we have that. Update. I think we need. What do we need with update? Oh, so we don't have any. We don't have any of these objects anymore to update. So I don't even know if we need an update. I think we're good here. That being said, update is not one of our orange ones. Okay, so draw game objects. We don't need you. Draw game over text. We don't need you. This is a nice amount of code to delete. Draw the drop zones. We don't need you. Oh wait, no, we do. Oh, what am I talking about? We do need the drop zones. We need the drop zones, definitely. Hold on. I wasn't thinking about that. We need the drop zones, which means we need them to be drawn. Let's go find draw here. Okay, so we want to drop these here. The ultimate game will be a chat-oriented streamer versus streamer game. Oh, so like one player, like one streamer's chat versus another streamer's chat? That could be interesting. That could be interesting. I don't know how to do that off the top. Well, probably doing something like how like Stream Versus does some like split screen stuff every once in a while. So if we have like an image with both streams up at the same time, everybody and both streamers are like streaming their versions of it, that could be good. And like one game, it probably have to be web-based, so both people can like be seeing the same thing at the same time. That could be a lot of fun. We're gonna do self draw drop zones, hand the context, and do that. Okay, so we need draw the drop zones. Let's see what else is here. Draw commands. We don't need to draw the commands anymore. We're doing that through the static interface that we just created. Draw the background. We don't need to do that anymore. Draw help subtitle. We don't need to do that anymore. Draw attack subtitle. Don't need to do that anymore. Draw title. Don't need to do that anymore either. I love it when we get to delete a lot of code. Okay, so that's just taking in like winning player and teammates. We don't necessarily know that we need those right now. And then from that, it's going to be, okay, well, what things do we no longer need anymore? If we don't need this, then we can essentially not have these things. Every time I do that, I have to now take away you. Okay. I don't think it's... Yeah, I can't like easily combine these together. I guess I can go down like that. Just move everything to the bottom they don't need. So you go down 2. And you go down like that. Okay, everything is together. So you all go away. Now, down here, we have to make you all go away. Okay, and then here's your commands vector. Right, because you no longer know what you are, and you're not being used anymore, so we don't need you anymore. Okay, so back to this. We don't need this dark mask. Wait a second. What's the dark mask? The dark mask is the full screen. Oh, we do need this. We do need the dark mask. And to have that display. Oh, interesting. I wonder how we're doing that. I forgot how we get like to sort of fade out the background. That's the dark mask. Then we have command height start at. Okay, so we don't need you anymore. Instruction background, we don't need you anymore. Okay, so then these are the title dimensions. So we don't need the title stuff anymore. Okay, so don't need you. Instruction width. So we want to get rid of instruction width and just replace that with width. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with getting rid of you. Our location is just a rect of that. I'm not sure we need this location. Now the drop zone width is based upon this instruction width. Well, we can get that from you. So if I move you to the top, here, nope, here, then you become just width, and then you get happy again. Oh, you need to be, so width, let's actually do a dot into here, so that it just automatically becomes an F32. That also means I don't need to do the info into here. We also don't need rand prelude. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so here we have everywhere we're using instruction width. Let's now just use width. Width is an F32. What? Field width is already declared because I have a public width there. So that's perfect. You're trying to draw the sprite, but you just can't get the shape right. Yeah, I just did it once, and I mean, you can recognize it as a heart. You can't recognize it as a great heart, but it's a heart. Okay, what else do we have down here? So then our location, so I don't think we need the location anymore. And we don't need this width because we have the width up there already. So then we're happy with this. Now interface, missing, so okay. You're saying we need a location. I'm saying, I don't know if we do. Okay, so no more errors in this file. Let's go take a look here. So when we creating the timer block, so interface dot width, okay, so then this one is, what are we doing? So when we're creating the instruction, so when we create an instruction, we don't need to create an instruction anymore. They're just in there. So this entire function goes away. We save that. That now makes that all of these create instructions like this, we don't need them. They go away like that. Now, implement event handler for game state. What are you upsetting? Implementation is not supported in traits or impulse. Consider moving implementation out to a nearby block. Did I delete something by accident? Here's an okay for this. I feel like yeah, I accidentally deleted an extra closing brace. Okay, so then we have this self parameters only allowed in associated functions. Okay, so I want you down here, like that. Okay. No field instruction width on this, so we really want you to just be width. And no more errors. Let's see if this works. That was a huge amount of code to just delete without worrying too much about it. All of that's still working for us. We can still move, we can still jump. This obviously is static and we don't have to move anymore, but I think that's okay. And then can we still drop? So fire, drops, okay. Sword, drops. And snake, drops. Okay. These are all good signs. And then heart drops. Perfect. Okay. So I think things are in a good state now. Then what I want to do is now display the streamer's lives left as images here. Okay, so what is that going to mean? We're going to need the heart image inside the interface. And then we're going to get passed back. Okay, so we have this player's life left. You got hit by the snake a lot? Yeah, I did. I have, I need to fix this, but that's going to be in polish. or have them like disappear or something whenever they hit me. Or basically like the iframes thing that I have. I think that will be like what I really want to deal with it. Because I get iframes, but like that's how much it's reporting that it's hitting. So I essentially want to turn off collision detection after I get hit for X number of milliseconds. Or frames, I guess. Okay, so we count with this. We can even check, see, like this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 frames or so. I can even make it like 15 frames just to be safe. Is how much we want to like not check for collisions after I get hit once. All right, so if I do this, I want to store a heart image. So heart image is going to be an image like that. Now there's a lot of these things left that I don't know why it's not yelling at me. Because I don't think we need these. I don't know why it's like telling me it's okay to have them, and oh, maybe we'll get warnings after I deal with this. So let's go let heart image equals image new context heart.png, and the snake continues moving off the screen. Right, and like we might be fine with that, and just sort of like the snake passes me, or we might want the snake disappearing as soon as it touches me. Okay, so then we have our heart image here. So that makes you all happy. I think, or maybe it doesn't. Oh, right, I need you to be question mark. There, that gives us an actual heart image. When we do the, okay, so the dark mask isn't being used right now. And I can't remember if I got, I wonder if I like accidentally deleted where the dark mask gets drawn. And that's, we would just need to like redraw that. But okay. So I want in update, let's see, how am I gonna get the number of lives left for the player? I'm thinking I'm gonna want some kind of other system for this. Ooh. Lord Mist, you just sent me a heart. Let me see if I can download that really quickly. Yeah, I got a notification on a completely different computer for that, which that's pretty cool. Where's my, there it is. Downloads here, extract all. Ooh, that looks so much better. Okay, hold on, let's back to Figma here. So if I get rid of you and we put you in, it's something like that. And then there we go. That's our heart. I think that looks good. We've even got like a little bit of a 3D look to it. Like a little bit of shadows, a little bit of highlights. I like it. Okay, so if I do that, we need to re-export again. So frame 1, save out. Then in downloads, we change you to sidebar because we need to remove you. What is this website? This is Figma. I share this out. It's apparently a pretty cool design website. I've heard about it from like some of my design friends who like they're saying it's pretty nice. Basically, it's a full design mock-up tool for like that lives in your browser, and you can use it for free. Or you can of course pay for it if you're doing like big commercial stuff and you need like a team to work together on it. But you saw we were able to get like essentially this going pretty fast. And it's a lot better than using something else. Oh, I automod. Oh, interesting. Lord Mist, automod I think stopped your Discord PM's message. All right, well I added that in. Okay. So here's the new sidebar. I want to take you, documents, code, builds. All right, so I need to bring this back into all of this. Every time it closes up this entire path, so I need to go find it again, debug, resources. We're gonna take our sidebar, move it into resources, and replace the file. And what that means is here we can just immediately run this again. And we have a new heart there. That's in the sidebar for this. The heart isn't here yet. I need to also pull in, this is, I think, heart.png. So I should be able to pull this into the same resources. Replace the file in the destination. I don't think that means it's replaced right away. I think it got loaded up once. So if we do another heart. Oh! That's not, okay, so my imaging system actually goes out and loads the heart as soon as the command happens. That's really bad performance-wise. I would want to like probably preload all of the assets at the beginning of the game. But I mean, it's cool that it just sort of works there. And I should be able to go and grab it if it hits us. But it looks pretty cool. So if I do another heart 3, I can get them all. All right, perfect. Excellent, I like it. Yeah, thank you so much for Lord Mist for that heart. That's really awesome. I like it. Okay, so now I want to display these hearts down here. So what? How am I going to do that? So we now have the heart image here. We have the heart image loaded up. We're gonna need to get the number of lives that we have left. I'm thinking that we want to do that in update. We can get the number of lives from the player. So like the player lives. Yeah, probably like the player lives left. We can get this. That's gonna be U8. And then all we're gonna do is store that internally. So we're just gonna say self dot player, nope. Did I not, how, wait. Oh, I'm not storing that. Okay, so let's do player lives left is a U8. Then player lives left comes down here, which we start you with something like 3. Do we take this in? We do. So we just do players lives left. Like that. So that's we'll start with a default player live left. Then self.player lives left equals player lives left. So we just update what we have. Therefore, in our draw then, we now want to loop through the number of player lives that we have left and draw hearts, like draw the same heart to that area. So what is that going to look like? Let's do something like this so we can easily add these graphics draws. So I want to do a for each. So for, I guess I do want like an index in 0 ... self ... player lives left. So for each of those, we want to do a graphics draw. We'll have the context. The drawable is going to be a reference to self.heart image, and then a param. So draw param new. And then we're going to have a .dest. Okay, so a point to new. And so this is going to be moved to like our width. So like self.width. So if we, oh no, it has to be like our screens. Okay, so let's do like, it's going to be screen size .0 minus self.width. So to be on like the left-hand side. And then we want like how far down we want this to be. And I think we decided something like 1015.0. So if I do that, now all of them are going to show up in the same exact spot. So I really want like the start. So like let heart x start. Let's do let heart x. We'll make this mutable, and I can change that. So we're going to do this as screen size .0 minus self.width. So then in here we're going to do heart x. Then I'm also going to need the, well, we have the width of that. Okay, so at the end of this draw, then we're going to update heart x. So we're going to say heart x plus equals to like the heart image, self.heartimage.width plus maybe like 5 pixels for a little bit of a buffer. So if we do that, we do have 3 errors, right? Because we need you to be an into. You're an F32. Type annotations needed. Oh, okay. So we need you to be in it as F32, so you know exactly what we want you to be. Okay. There we go. That's all happy. We have 2 errors. Expected 2 arguments, found 1. Right, so in the main library, when we run the interface, we have to tell it how many lives the player has left now. I don't remember, do I have self? I don't think like I have something like player.lives. So I'm just gonna pass in 3 for right now, every frame. So that just won't change. No errors. Let's go ahead and run this. We'll see how this looks. Okay, that's not terrible. Now, if I figure out what the center point of this is, we can center it. So if we count, we know how much the width is of each one of these hearts. Okay, we know what the width is for each one of these hearts. So if I take the width, multiply that by the number of hearts that we have, we add the 5 to it, then I cut that in half and take the center of this and divide and subtract, and then that's where we place them. I think that'll work for us. All right, let's try some of this. It's math time. The fun is time. Okay, so our initial heart X position here. Screen size minus like dot 0. So that gives us the right hand side of the screen. I want to get right here. So screen size minus self.width divided by 2.0. That gives me this position right here. Then I want to subtract half of this entire thing. So I need a heart width so that's going to be minus, let's parentheses this so we get like, I want this to happen independently. I know that it will automatically because of like math reasons, but I want this to happen, and I want this to happen sort of like at the same time first. What is that going to look like? That's going to be, let's get our image. So self dot heart image dot width plus 5.0, so that's going to be our little margin here, and we're going to multiply that so you need to happen like this, so times the number of hearts, so self dot players live left, and then I want to subtract this by 2.0. As F32. And I want you to be a dot into as well. Can you do a dot into? You can, okay. No, you can't. As F32. Okay, no errors. Does this give me like a center place for it? It kind of does. I'm a little bit off. Am I a little bit off? So right down the center for this. I'm just a tiny bit off. Maybe that 5. We don't really need this plus 5 maybe. Ah, there we go. That looks a lot better. And so if I die, now, obviously I'm not going to die here because this is just a static number. We need to figure out when we get hit and reduce our health appropriately. So the next thing for us to do here is in the main library when I get hit, so we need to track our players' life left here. So, so lives left, Busy you 8. We have this lives here. We'll do lives left is lives. Okay, so we're already giving it the initial amount, but every time that we get hit, says receive from chat, player hit object event, the streamer was hit. Okay, so we got hit, so lose a life. So we want to send self toggle bit rating with a party of 37. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Awesome to have you here, Togglebit and streamers, and viewers, not streamers. But great to have you here. How was your stream? What were we working on? Let's see. Hello, Lampai, and I will speak. Togglebit, you won't be long. You're off to a meeting. Well, go have fun with your meeting and the rest of your day. Failing at timings and other failures too, of course. Well, that's I guess par for the course sometimes for this. I feel like that happens a lot here too. But I'm sure you'll have less failure soon, shortly. Does not have fun at the meetings, but such is life. Well, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the sentiments, and good luck with your meetings and the rest of your day. It is almost the weekend, so we have that to look forward to. All right. Okay. What are we doing here? We're setting up a life system so that way we can Here's what I've got running before we like ended the stream, like before I ended the game. Looks like I broke the end of the game thing. So I'll have to deal with that. But what I'm trying to figure out is how to like automatically make the streamer lives left go up and down based upon us getting hit. Game never ends, of course. Game never ends. So for the streamer lives left, what do I want to do with this? We get hit, so we're going to do self dot lives left minus equals to 1. And then when we do an update, where's our interface update? Screen size, game time left. Okay, so stuff that interface. Okay, here it is. Players live left. This is going to be self dot lives left. Did I figure out the hitching thing from yesterday, or do we just go with making a graphic instead? We made a graphic, so we used Figma to create the entire sort of sidebar thing, and everything about this is now a static image, except we're gonna have this spot down here for the streamer lives left. So now that I've updated that, we've got no errors. Let's see if I run this, what it looks like. So here's our lives left. If we lose one, what happened there? Thread panicked and attempt to subtract with overflow because we got hit so many times. It went below 0, negative, and of course with an unsigned integer going negative is not the best of ideas. Now, probably what I want to do is not actually subtract a life here. What I probably want to do is have the player life system. We're tracking the lives here. If I have this be public, then I should be able to extract this from the player. So if I have a query, so if I can query the game object, like all the game objects for the player, then I can get the player and then get the lives left from that, then pass that into the system. So I like that a little bit more. So we're not going to lose a life here. This is just sending the message that was sent out. Instead, we need to right here get the player lives left. That also means instead of calling us from self.lives left, we'll get it right here. So in the game object, I'm thinking we want a query. So pub function query for type. And in this case, we don't need to take ownership of it. We can get a reference to the object. If we query for type, we might get multiple of them out. So I could just do get player. We can actually just do, okay, get player. Get player ref to be very specific about this. This is gonna have to be an option. An option with a reference to a game object. I don't know how this is gonna work. This is gonna be interesting. I might also have to like clone it. Instead, so we'll see how this goes. So to get the player reference, we need to return this option. We can loop through all of our players and extract out. Okay, so it's going to be a find. So let's player equals self dot what did I call it? Oh, this shouldn't. Should this be game object? No, because like the game object is the thing. Never mind. Hold on. It doesn't belong in here. Oh, okay, so we just have this vector of game object. So we probably just want in here, we could have a function for get player. We're gonna return an option of a reference to a game object. Okay, this is gonna be easier over here. Then we're going to find the object. So we're going to do let player equals self.gameObjects get an iterator. From there we can do a find Inside of here, we can this is game object, and then we want to return if the game object.myType, if that is equal to game object type player. So that gives us an option with a game object here. So that means I can just do this straight up like that and not semicolon it. So this just abstracts away this code to like get myself the player. So here, get the player lives left. I should never not be able to do this, but just in case, if let, so we're gonna do let lives left equals if let sum, this is gonna be the player equals self dot get player. Okay, so now I have a reference to this game object that is a player. And so if I have this, we're gonna do a player dot game object. We have the life system here. So I might want to have like the lives left as a query in here. Or I can have like where I can reach directly into the life system. I think I want to do just pub for this for right now. But now that's an option. So I can do player dot life system dot unwrap or unwrap or default. So I'm gonna say that this is 3, and then I can do dot, and then in the player life system I want lives. That's public now, so this is now lives like that. Else we just do 3. So regardless, we have you as player lives left, and then you become a lives left. So you're U8. So default, you have to be an I32, unwrap or lives. Okay, no field lives on type standard box dying life system. Oh, okay. So I do have to add in to the mod. So it doesn't know how to get that in there. So we have to go to the mod here. We have game live is alive. We want to now have a function get lives left self. We're going to return a U8 like that. Now, of course, fun. We now have a ton of errors. Let's go to the player and deal with this one first. Get lives left and self.lives is what we return. You no longer need to be public, which means that in the main library here, you can be dot get lives left. And then that gives us the 3 or whatever it is. Do I need to tell you that you're an F32 or that you're an U8? Oh no. Mismatch types, expected struct, standard box dying life system. Oh, you don't, okay. I think I can't get away with like having a default here. Because even though if I'm getting lives left, it really wants this to be an unwrap or an actual boxed. Okay. And if I do, I can't do this one because it's an option. And if I do an unwrap, that's going to be a problem too. So we have to do an if let player. Okay, so some so life system. You know what might be nice is to add this in to the player. So in the game object, we could have get lives left in here. So public function get lives left. Oh, but I can't do that because it's off of the Dyn game object. So I'd have to add that in itself to this. Where is it? Game object. Oh no, I don't need to do that. I could do this. Okay, hold on. Pub function get lives left. Reference to self. We're going to return an option. So I probably should do an option, shouldn't I? But it's going to be an easier one. So I'm going to do an option which just stores a U8. Then I can do my default on it over in the other code. It's going to be a lot easier. So I have that. Then hey kitty. Pair programming. Gonna sit on my laptop keyboard. Cool, cool. All right, so get lives left option. So in this case, this is where we're going to do the sum. So we're gonna say we're gonna return straight from this. So if let sum life system equals self dot life system. Okay, so now we have this life system here. And if we have this, we can now return life system dot get lives left like that. And you return a U8. So we want to have this be a sum like that. Otherwise, we return a none. So that gives us, hey, let me take that keyboard away. Put that over here. As much as I love your help. Okay, so get lives left, do that. I think you're happy. So now I should be able to call get lives left in here. So if let some player, so we get the player. What is it with cats and keyboards? I know, they love that. Also, he loves just sort of walking in circles around. So like jump up and left, hang out for a little bit, then just walk around and touch all the keyboards. Okay. So if let pair programming, yes, that's their version of pair programming. Okay, so if let some player game object. So now I should be able to do player dot get lives left or unwrap or default, and I'm gonna say that you're a 3. Is that fine? Contain some value or a default. Expected 0 arguments, found 1. Oh, I don't have a default, so unwrap or. There you go. That's what I want. Then in here, else, we just return 3. There we go. We have abstracted that out, so now we have player's life left. That's going to be a 3, and we can pass that in there. So that's fine. Now we have 4 errors. Right, so now we have to fix all of this stuff. They write more creative messages than us. That's one way to think about it, yeah. Okay, so in here, we're going to have the get lives left. You are a 0. Because like there's no lives as part of this. So let's just go through and fix all of these. Okay, so cannot move out of get lives left. I don't want to, so I'm gonna reference this here. No errors left. Let's see if this code works. So we have 3 lives by default. If I get hit, and I get iframes in the life system, so I should only be hit once, even though we'll spam chat. So if I drop a snake, we go down to 2 lives left. Perfect. All right. So I think we've got the entire life system working now, and we're showing that correct. And then everything just sort of fails, although we don't get an error message. The game just keeps on running. How do I get it to open a game window when I run it? So I'm using a game engine called GGEZ. GGEZ gives me this basically for free for the game window. I do have to do a bunch of programming to like get the stuff to show up inside the game window, and that's sort of what you're seeing. All of my code is like the logic and the display stuff for this. For example, a majority of this is an image, and I'm just loading up the image and saying like, hey, display over here. Programming, boo. I know. Oh, you thought I was using end curses or something. Oh, no. That I haven't used end curses before. I know it's pretty popular, but I haven't used it. But okay, now this reset. I don't know if you noticed this. It reset to 3, which is a little bit odd. I don't know why that happened. Some kind of like maybe underflow and it like went reset back to 0 again. We'll have to figure that out. But we're able to lose the lives, and now we have a bug, which is when we go to 0 lives, we don't like display the end screen anymore. So let's go ahead and record that down. So for example, we now display the streamer lives left. That's working. So this is all done. But we have I'm gonna put this before polish. We have a bug now. Bugs. So when player runs out of lives, player disappears, and game doesn't end. We kind of need to like deal with that next. But once we get this in, then we can now work on polish. And then we can work on deployment, and then we can consider our feature requests and whether or not we're going to do them for this version or a future version. Okay, so with that all done, I'm going to go ahead and close all of these windows up. Everything's saved. We're good there. Let's go ahead and open up Git Kraken. and store all these. Okay, so we switched interface, I guess like instruction area to be an image. We are also displaying the lives left in the instruction area. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and push that on up. I did not check my bot this morning, so we'll see if it's running. But if I go bang repo, there it is. It's the first link here. So if you want to go take a look at the game, it's all open source. It's on GitHub. You can take a look at all the code there. You do need a .env if you want to run it yourself. And with a couple things, I haven't set up a README for it with actually like instructions for how to get it running locally, which would probably be a good idea for me to eventually do. Anyways, with that, it is 8:30, so I'm gonna have to start getting ready to, head to work and do all that kind of fun stuff. We're almost at the end of our sprint. We've got a big deadline coming up, and last night I had to stay up late working on a database migration, so that was fun. But we've all been there. So I am doing these streams every single weekday morning. So Monday through Thursday has been working on this game. On Friday morning, so that's tomorrow morning, I've been working on learning a WebAssembly with Rust. So if you come back at around 7 a.m. Mountain Time, you'll see me working on that. And then Sunday mornings, I'm creating an Introduction to Rust course. So if you have any questions, you want to learn Rust, bring them on Sunday morning. I don't necessarily have any specific time that I start, so follow me here on Twitch or follow me on Twitter so you can get notifications for when that begins. And with that, let's go ahead and find somebody to raid. Whose live did I want to raid potentially? If any of you have any suggestions, let me know too. There is a, let's see, where is it? Rustations. There's a Rustations team. There it is. On Twitch now. So if you, which I'm part of, nobody else is streaming right now. But yeah, if you want to like follow more Rust streamers, this is an excellent resource. You can sort of like see all of us out there. There's plenty more Rust streamers than are on this list, but it's a good starting point. So with that, who do we have? BeginBot is streaming, and he's raided us a few times. Let's go ahead and set up a raid for him. So slash raid BeginBot. Oh, I don't have permissions on his chat. I have to do it on my chat. Slash raid BeginBot. Like that. Okay, so we got that raid going here. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my ending screen. Where's my... There it is. Ending. And with that, I'm going to turn off my music. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.